I found recovery the first time because I got what was called acute pancreatitis. I suffered from a very acute pancreatitis attack at the age of 29 and a half. I spent 3 months in a hospital. And
it's very painful.
Yes, actually. And I was told by 3 different doctors while I was in the hospital that I should never drink again. And I didn't take that to heart. I stayed sober from alcohol for 2.5 years, but I continued to smoke weed and do other drugs. And then out of a chance of boredom and being high on drugs, marijuana, I picked up and started drinking. And I drank and drank for the next 2.5 years. I tried to get back, but I ended up at Cherry Hill, and I detoxed, and that's where I broke my foot. And then I ended up at EOCP.
Right.
And that's where I started drinking even more heavily. At that point in time, I had people like DeAndre and Lily and Shonda looking out for me. And I'm grateful for them. They were like angels for me. I think just sitting down and having that conversation with DeAndre instead of just going over a checklist. Because we sat down and had a conversation, and I actually told him about my aspirations for the future. At that point, I really wanted help. And I saw with you that I could get the help that I needed. I really did. I just saw somebody who could help me. So I decided to just come clean and be honest and say, hey, this is what I need. And after I was pushed out of the nest, shall we say, I ended up back at Cherry Hill, and from there I ended up at Options. And at Options, I found a program that fit me just perfectly. And I was able to find a few meeting houses that fit me perfectly. And I was able to adjust. The meetings still aren't the same as San Francisco, but I still enjoy the meetings that I have found. I had my life where I worked, and I went to meetings just about every day. And I built a circle of friendships that I would say helped me every day in my life in recovery. So they were like my support group, you know, people I could depend on if I was ever in trouble. And they became my new family. And these people supported me in my everyday life. So if I didn't talk to my sponsor every day, but I talked to a number of other people at least every day. Yeah. It is a difficult subject to talk about, and it's hard to bring up with a patient, especially the patient who doesn't want to talk about it. You know, there is a way you need to talk about it and bring it up. How do you speak about this to somebody? It's kind of shocking, like if you're a physician, like, I'd like to know how many drugs are you taking? What drugs are you taking? You can't just shockingly bring it out there. You know, you really gotta get to know your patient a little bit before you just throw all your cards out on the table. I've been fortunate that I have people like DeAndre and Lily, you know, in my corner helping me, and friends of mine in AA, people at Options just really pulling for me, you know, wishing the best for me. These people have been guardian angels for me. It's just a great feeling to have people like that. You have no idea. I'm not letting any of them down. I have a sobriety date of October 10th, 2014. I'm never drinking again. I'm committed to that date for the rest of my life.